When the dawn of mana arrived, extraordinary abilities were bestowed upon mankind. While the strong dominated, the weak suffered immensely. Among those weaklings was our hero, Lino, who awakened as a ridiculous rabbit. Lino was a runt on the brink of death until he unlocked a system that changed everything. He gained new skills every day and was able to pay back the bullies who treated him like garbage. However, all this didn't happen overnight. It's a new era on Blue Star, and everyone in the city is going about their business. We see our hero shamelessly walking through the streets, engrossed in his phone. He walks past a girl cosplaying as a bunny, streaming for her fans. He can't believe someone would dress like that in public. It's just crazy. He gets caught up in the live stream, and the viewers start mocking him for being pathetic. The bunny girl notices him and tells her viewers to shower her with gifts if she can take him down. Before she even starts, the subscribers begin gifting her. She approaches Lino, commenting on their similar bunny ears. While he's distracted by her charms, she quickly casts a spell on him. Fear and confusion grip Lino as his body is lifted into the air and tossed to the ground. The bunny girl announces her mission complete to her viewers. Bruised and battered, Lino struggles to his feet, only to hear the honk of a truck slamming into him from nowhere. His body flies through the air as the driver curses him for being a disgusting creature. As he hurls through the air, Lino recalls his unfortunate life growing up in an orphanage and things getting worse after awakening his bunny transformation. The strong mocked him for being a pathetic loser. As he crashes to the ground, the driver approaches, demanding he pay for the damages to the truck. Enraged, the driver activates his thunder abilities, zapping Lino and frying his brain. In agonizing pain, Lino wonders if this is the end. Suddenly, a strange being notices his will to survive. It declares it has finally found a suitable host after millions of years. Meanwhile, Lino continues to be struck by thunder. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself in a strange place surrounded by floating texts. A robot speaks to him, introducing itself as 9527, the system. It explains Lino is the perfect host it's been searching for over 35 million years. Lino, thrilled to be alive, asks if he can get any of the skills he sees. The robot tells him not to get ahead of himself. It can grant him one random skill per day. Lino's hope shatters as he's once again left to fate. He wishes the robot had found him earlier, fearing a useless skill might finally kill him. The robot asks if he's ready to awaken a skill. With no other choice, Lino accepts. The system generates a random S-rank skill for him, and Lino returns to life where he was being electrocuted. The driver is shocked to see him alive. Lino leaps into the air, his new skill strengthening his legs, and lands on the truck, smashing it to pieces. Enraged, the driver rushes at him, but Lino strikes him down with a powerful kick, sending him crashing to the ground. The bunny girl, terrified, begs Lino to stay away. He enhances his fists with his skill, ready to end her, but instead covers her with his jacket. He picks up her phone and sees her viewers calling him names and warning him not to touch her. Lino goes live, declaring himself the boss bunny from now on. The next day, in a classroom, girls gossip about Lino appearing in the news. He walks in, wondering what the fuss is about. The girls swarm him, asking if it was really him on the livestream. Lino recalls how he settled matters with the bunny girl and the driver, making them apologize and even praise him. Desperate for that moment, he accesses the system for his daily skill. The robot skips the selection and gives him Sewing the World. Thinking it's his chance to impress the ladies, Lino clicks on it, only to find out it lets him plant seeds that flourish under his care. Frustrated, he curses the system, making others think he's insane. Lenin, a wind element prodigy, calls out to him, offering a job that could make him a lot of money. Lino asks for details, suspicious of why this bully is suddenly being kind. Lenin suggests a club looking for waiters, saying Lino would fit right in with his looks. Lino flips the table, accusing Lenin of being a regular there. Lenin, realizing he's been caught, slams the table, ready to destroy Lino for making a fool of him. The teacher intervenes, warning Lenin of the consequences of fighting in school. Reluctantly, Lenin backs down but keeps a close eye on Lino. The teacher announces a special test for students with awakened powers, offering a chance to get into Lingu University. And Lingu University was established when spiritual energy returned to Blue Star, and it's a place dedicated to training awakened individuals. Our protagonist, Linko, who was a total nobody with lousy abilities before, is suddenly super interested. He wonders if his system might give him a shot at getting in. He raises his hand to ask a question, but the teacher shuts him down, saying he'd just embarrassed the school. Crushed, and with the whole class laughing, Linko insists he'll take the ability exam. The teacher, still a jerk, tells him he's average and should protect the school's reputation. This just pisses Linko off more, and he vows to beat up everyone who's looked down on him. The teacher offers him a deal: make it to the top 10 in the citywide exams, and he'll get a shot at the ability exam. Linko instantly agrees, and the teacher can't wait to see how this plays out. Determined, Linko swears to get into Lingu University no matter what. He rushes out of school, thinking about how to afford the insane tuition fees. A car screeches to a halt in front of him, and he wonders who is missing with his day now. Two girls step out, and the blue-haired one calls him Bunny. She's Chin Jenin, a total knockout that has all the guys drooling. Even Linko is stunned. Then he realizes she called him Little Bunny, and wonders why all women use that embarrassing nickname. He clears his throat and introduces himself to Jenin, all flashy and stupid. He even offers his contact info, but the blonde girl just laughs at his ridiculousness. He realizes she's the same bunny girl from the live stream. She says she came to return his jacket and hands it over. She adds that cosplaying is her hobby and he shouldn't talk about it, but he doesn't see the point since she's famous. Jenin interrupts, asking the bunny girl, Chungmin, if Linko is the one she talked about. Chungmin confirms that he beat a bronze 2-star rank, meaning his power should be higher. Linko, wanting to show off, offers to demonstrate his powers. Jenin says it's unnecessary since they're leaving. He suggests they find somewhere to spar, and she wonders if he's serious. Being a rank 1 silver star, she's insulted by his challenge but agrees to spar in a week. He makes things even worse by calling her name and asking about a reward for the winner. Jenin says if he wins, she'll be nicer to him and fulfill any other requests. Before leaving, she advises him to give up before he gets the beating of a lifetime. He assures her he won't give up easily. After they leave, he gets on his scooter and receives a text. It's a customer needing urgent help, and Linko gets to set the price. He zooms off to help the client and get rich. In a dark alley, some thugs are harassing an innocent person. The victim, Jang-san, an N-star rank bronze healer, is in tears offering money to be spared. The thugs jack him up, planning to kill him after taking his money. Their attention is drawn to someone calling out. They see Linko holding a bat, ready to make them pay for bullying. They grab their own weapons, ready to teach Bunny Boy a lesson. Linko, unfazed, snaps his fingers. A ton of people appear behind him, ready to beat up the thugs. Seeing they're outnumbered, the thugs run away. The fatso runs to Linko, shocked that he's the boss of the area. Jang-san tells the thugs never to return, or the hero will pummel them. Jang-san thanks Linko, calling him Big Brother. But Linko just wants to get paid. The boy introduces himself as the most handsome high school student in the city and offers Linko 30,000. Linko is amazed at his newfound wealth. He just needs a bit more for tuition. Seeing he's now rich, he calls Jang his junior. He asks why the thugs were after him. Jang explains he used a female account in a game, and the person he married asked for a voice note. The person was sitting across from him and caught him using a voice changer. Linko can't believe how insane this guy is. The kid offers Linko a ride in a luxury car, but he declines. On his way home, he thinks about his luck, meeting the high school sweetheart and making a lot of money. The next day in school, the lecturer tells everyone to settle down. Linko is exhausted from studying all night. He tries to stay awake with coffee, but is about to pass out. He asks the robot for his skill of the day. The robot complains about being woken up, leaving Linko amazed. Why does a robot need sleep? Plot armor kicks in, and Linko gets the photographic memory skill. It's perfect for the exam. He tests it out, and the lecturer notices his strange behavior. Linko looks at the board and instantly gets the answer. Seeing how easy it is, he starts flipping through books. The teacher finally snaps and lashes out. He slams the desk, making Linko jump. He yells at Linko for looking at a physics book during language class. Linko tries to explain, but the man isn't having it. The guy even starts shooting flames from his mouth, reminding Linko of his awful results. Seriously, this guy needs to chill pill. Lin, confident in his memorization, suggests a test from any page of the book. The lecturer, still telling him to give up on the ability exam, is challenged by Lin to not underestimate him. Tension builds as the lecturer starts with an easy question, which Lin answers immediately, amazing the teacher. Another question, another quick answer slammed on the table. The classmates are shocked. The lecturer laughs at Lin for a supposedly wrong answer, only to realize Lin gave it backward. The class is stunned. After defeating his teacher, Lin leaves, saying he'll see them on exam day. Later, the results show Lin Q on top, thanks to his photographic memory. While Lin is furious at being beaten, Lin studies his next opponent. 10 days later, the ability exam venue is packed. The announcer introduces the 30th Military Zone representative and other guests. Jen Jen, entering the arena, blasts a hole in the wall, pissed because someone took her top spot. Lin enters, waves to her, but gets a cold response. She asks what he wants for winning their bet. Lin suggests a meal, shocking her. She apologizes for calling him weak. The announcer mentions the top 2 scorers, but Jen Jen misinterprets his words, and he belittles Lin. Lin confidently declares he'll take first place. The crowd laughs, but Lin snatches the microphone and says whoever they're supporting will be unlucky to face him. The crowd is murderous, but Lin is unfazed. The announcer warns him to be careful. The other participants are also furious. The exam is a 1 versus 1 arena battle, with immediate elimination for losers. Participants check their assigned numbers. Some unhappy. There's an odd number, so there will be a bye. Everyone except Lin, who isn't concerned, hopes to be chosen. The draw starts and number 66, Lin, is selected. People hate him more for his luck. The competition starts. Lin and the rest watch the first match. Jen fights and wins instantly by turning her opponent into a popsicle. Lin, uneasy, studies her skills. 10 minutes later, the next battle is deadly. Meanwhile, Lin, tired from watching, asks the robot system for his daily skill. He calls out the robot for being lazy. The robot retorts it's because Lin's a pathetic noob. It grants him an S-rank physical enhancement. Lin, happy with a useful skill, activates it. His muscles grow, ripping his shirt. He shows off, making everyone uncomfortable. The second round begins. Lin wins by another bye. On the second and third days, the same happens. He's tired of being lucky. A reporter asks how he feels. He says he's sick of it and wants to fight. Everyone is fed up. Lin calls out Lin for advancing without fighting. To mess up Lin's luck, Lin withdraws, meaning Lin must fight. The announcer expresses joy that Lin needs to be crushed. Someone sees an opportunity to end Lin's luck. The crowd roots for Lin's opponent, hoping he'll beat Lin. Lin doesn't understand the hate. The match kicks off with Lin mouthing off, calling our hero unlucky for having to face him. Lin, who, unfazed, just wants to get it over with. Lin, a bronze 8-star lightning awakener, starts things off by shooting a lightning bolt. Lin Q easily dodges, and the bolt explodes on impact with the ground. The protagonist, unimpressed, tells Lin he's only made it this far because he's faced chumps. Furious, Lin starts blasting lightning everywhere, but the protagonist dodges everything with minimal effort. With no other options, Lin engulfs the entire platform in lightning. Our hero, remembering how dangerous lightning can be, he almost died from it once, leaps forward to end the fight quickly. He throws a haymaker, shocking Lin with his speed. Lin, believing he can tank the punch after seeing Lin Q's transformation, is quickly proven wrong as our hero sends him flying out of the ring with a single powerful blow, winning the fight. The crowd goes nuts, and the principals of top universities, Zhang W and Lu Zhen, are already fighting over who gets to recruit our hero. Meanwhile, the other principal, Luan, wonders about Lin Q's true strength, noting that he didn't use any mana despite the power of his punch. Next, Lin Q faces Shenny, a wolf anamorph with a menacing aura. Shenny, however, is intimidated by Lin Q's power and forfeits before the fight even begins. The same thing happens with the next opponent, and the one after that. Lin Q wonders why he can't find a decent fight. In a blink, the protagonist is in the top 8. Jen, another contestant, stares at Lin Q, wondering if they'll finally face off. Our hero, feeling lonely at the top, concludes the ability exam was a waste of time. Just then, the robot referee tells him it's on his side and grants him a temporary skill, the ability to wield any spear he can imagine. Lin Q thinks it's useless since nobody uses spears anymore. While he's complaining, Jen approaches. Lin Q sits up straight, asking if she's there for him. She says she wants to talk. Jen asks if he's interested in joining a team she's forming to explore a bronze dungeon. He's shocked she'd explore a bronze dungeon. During the dawn of mana, countless dungeons filled with mana beasts and treasures were created. These beasts are like treasure jackpots, their skins are valuable, and their mana pearls help awakeners get stronger. Lin Q, being a total goofball, thinks this is a date opportunity. She quickly squashes that idea, saying there will be 6 others. He shamelessly accepts but questions why they need others. Jen ignores his question and says she'll contact him. As she leaves, he suggests coffee, but she tells him to prepare for their upcoming fight, promising not to go easy on him. The finals arrive, and the crowd is hyped. Everyone is rooting for the high school sweetheart to crush the protagonist. As the match is announced, Jen points at the protagonist, swearing to take the first position. He doesn't care about first place and wishes she wouldn't take it so seriously, but he also advises her to give up, since he won't hold back. They take their stances. As she tries to warn him about her silver-ranked ability, he rushes in with a punch, telling her to be careful. She parries, he loses balance, and she slams him with a powerful kick. He recovers quickly due to his physical enhancement. From Jen's expression, it's clear she wants him to regret fighting her, but our hero charges with determination. The fight has only just begun, and he plans to give it his all. He throws a barrage of punches, but Jen blocks every single one. He unleashes another attack, and she instantly appears behind him. He's puzzled. By the time he looks back, it's too late. She strikes him with her elbow, and he falls. Defeated, the sweetheart tells him to give up, because his fighting skills are abysmal. She adds that she hasn't even used her ice abilities. Our hero gets up, looking for a quick way to end this. Struggling to breathe, he gets an idea. He asks the moderator for a timeout, shocking everyone. Before getting an answer, he jumps out of the arena, grabs a mop stick, and asks if he can use it as a weapon. The moderator says it's a shameless and unprecedented request. However, Jen approves, feeling he's looking down on her. Lin Q gets back on stage, wielding the mop like a spear. His aura shines brightly, thanks to his skill, and Jen notices something's off. He attacks, she tries to create distance, but he closes in. She evades his weapon, but his skills activate, turning him into a a master spearman. She vows to kill him, and he apologizes for hitting her. Despite the apology, she unleashes a barrage of ice spears, which he dodges. Enraged, she activates a more powerful ability, freezing the entire arena. Our hero's stuck in a real jam, and figures his only shot is to morph. But surprise, surprise, Jen's already pelting him with ice spears. Boom, they explode on impact, and she's so confident she tells the announcer to call an ambulance and declare her the winner. But before the guy can even announce it, our hero pops out of the smoke, bunny ears and all, telling Jen to hold her horses. He zooms towards her, and she whips up some ice gauntlets for defense. Lino gets close and cracks her ice armor, thanks to his morphed up state. Things are looking rough, but she's not about to take second place again. Nope. Jen starts channeling some serious power, pushing past her limits and hitting a silver Twar rank. This freaks out our hero because now his opponent could get seriously messed up with one wrong move. He yells at the judge to call a timeout, claiming she's cheating. The judge just rolls his eyes and says leveling up ain't cheating, and Bunny Boy's just being a moron. Meanwhile, Jen's wondering why our hero didn't just smack her while she was powering up. She finds it kind of funny but tells him to quit screwing around and fight. Linko gets into a defensive stance, bracing himself. She warns him she's way stronger now, and then bam! Unleashes a stronger attack. Our hero uses his spear like a pole vault to avoid becoming a human popsicle, but a few ice spears still manage to nail him. Jun's attacks are way faster and more powerful. He slams his spear into the ground, but Jenin's attacks knock him off balance, sending him sprawling. And if that wasn't bad enough, the high school sweetheart charges up an even bigger ice attack and sends the whole barrage his way. He tries to tough it out, but there's only so much he can do. Even with his buffed up physique, he's short on mana to withstand that kind of power. With no other options, he charges straight at her, going for broke. Jenin, impressed by his guts, admits she underestimated him. As he closes in, she preps another ability, but he gets her in a headlock before things get worse. She ends up punching him in the face, struggling to break free. They wrestle around and both tumble over. Our hero quickly shields the high school goddess from hitting the hard ground. She tells him to let go, seeing how banged up he is, but he's stubborn. He won't let go unless she admits defeat. He even threatens to bite her if she doesn't give up, really leaning into the deranged creep vibe. He makes it clear he doesn't care about the competition. He just wants to win. Hearing this, Jenin sighs and tells the announcer she's done. After that, our hero passes out, collapsing from exhaustion. The girl rushes over to check on him, calling out his name as his consciousness fades. He wakes up in bed, head all bandaged. The robot, seeing he's awake, gives him a skill upgrade, from a white rabbit to a mischievous rabbit. Lino totally loses it, realizing that Weird Dream was all the robot's fault. He quickly checks the system for his daily skill. After a bunch of garbage skills, he finally lands a triple S rank skill, Dimensional Awakening. The system, without even asking, starts merging two of his skills. He tries to stop it, but it's too late. The merge completes, and he evolves into both a mischievous rabbit and a Doraemon. He stares at his stomach, asking the robot what the new pouch is for. The robot explains it's a three-dimensional space for storing anything. He also gets a skill that lets him teleport anywhere within a 5 kilometers radius. Lino jumps out of bed, eager to test it out. He thinks of a destination, and poof. The door sends him to some random place. He crashes to the ground, finding himself in some strange girl's room. The girl grabs a dagger, demanding to know how he got in. Turns out, her name's Likshu, and she's the building owner's daughter. He tries to calm her down and explain, but she's not having it. Our hero cries out as Likshu adds a few more injuries for invading her privacy. Despite his injuries, he heads to a coffee shop the next day to meet up with Jen. She waves him over to her table, where she's sitting with a few other awakeners. She sees his injuries and asks if he's okay. They're about to head out, so she introduces him to the team. First up are Chungmin and Jang-san. They both feel bad about his injuries, and the healer even offers to fix him up. Then he meets Jang Chung, a fire-type awakener. The guy greets our hero, praising his fight at the arena. Janine tells the hero there are 2 more team members, but they're busy. She then asks about his acceptance to Lingyu University, and he confirms he got the letter. Feeling nervous, also asks which school he's planning to attend. Being a total goofball, our hero thinks she's asking because she's into him. He tells her he's thinking about Lingyu University and asks if she wants to go to the same school. This time, his flirting actually works. She admits she does, mostly because she wants a rematch. After that, she gets down to business, leaving our hero to his fantasies. She shows them a book with a picture of the ice fox spirit, their target. Since ice foxes usually hang out in packs, she can't handle it alone. She says there might not be much in it for them, but Chungmin tells her to cut the humble act. They all see it as a great training opportunity and a chance to be around her. Our hero also chimes in, saying he's lucky to be invited. Jenin tells them to just call her by her name. With that settled, she says they'll leave in 3 days, meeting at our hero's place. Departure day arrives, and our hero's packing his bags, ready for the adventure of a lifetime. The system gives him his daily skill, which is of course, another trash E-rank skill. One lets him master all Earth languages, and another lets him use all medical techniques. Despite his disappointment, the robot points out how lucky he's been with his daily skill draws. Linkyu's reminded about his pocket dimension, and the robot suggests he toss his backpack in. He lifts the bag, and it gets sucked in, despite its huge size. The system tells him all the items in his room can still fit, which is absolutely insane. Just then, a car horn honks outside. He looks out the window to see the teams arrived and tells them he'll be down in a sec. Inside the car, Chungmin stares awkwardly at his pocket dimension. Everyone's blown away by how useful the skill is. They've never seen anything like it. Jen tells him his skill is super rare, making him pretty overpowered. After messing around, the driver announces they've arrived. Linku gets out to take a look. He gazes at a pillar of pure aura and power, spotting some researchers at its base. This sight is amazing, and he can't believe this is the Linguo he's heard so much about. They say nobody knows when Linguo appeared, and it's filled with all kinds of spirit beasts. Back in the day, portals surrounded the city, freaking everyone out. Spirit beasts can enter the realm of man, but for some reason they rarely do. Still, humanity has to defend itself on the rare occasion the beasts decide to step through and wreck the place. Because of this, the state sends government staff to handle the registration of copper and silver rank Linguo gates. The protagonist's team approaches the dungeon portal and sees some guards taking note of those who enter. Just as they're about to get in line, it fills up, and the guard tells them to register and come back tomorrow. As Jen registers her team, the hero stares at the gate, noticing how intense the spiritual energy is. Chungmin comes over and drags him off to who knows where. When he asks where they're going, she says she's taking him back to the car so she can study his pocket dimension. Unbeknownst to them, another awakener is watching. The guy eyes the hero's team and figures they're loaded. His lackey suggests they stir up some trouble by robbing Lin and his teammates. The leader, Yanggu, is a 5-star silver rank from the woods. He and one of his lackeys keep an eye on their prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. He says his Shengline group is known for harassing weaker adventurers and stealing their loot. He vows to bury the protagonist and his comrades in Linguo. The next day, Linkyou and his team enter the gate. They step through and arrive in a green field with vast mountains surrounding them. The group is speechless. The space is massive. Jen urges them to get moving. They still have a few days before reaching their destination. As they go, she tells Chungmin to keep an eye on their surroundings for any danger. The bunny girl activates her radar system, using echolocation to track their surroundings. With everything set, the high school sweetheart tells her team to move out. Meanwhile, the Shengline group is nearby, watching them. The leader tells his men to hold back since they're still in an open area. He plans to wait until they get into the forest, where he can easily ambush them. As the team walks through the grass plains, they encounter some majestic, mythical sheep. They get into a fierce fight, but easily overpower them. The protagonist tells his teammates the sheep fur is worth some cash, and they should stop burning it. They search around for anything valuable, and Chungmin finds 2 gems. Suddenly, a pack of wolves appears above them. Jenin tells her people to prepare, but not to attack first. The wolves are known to get stronger when their comrades are injured. Our hero suggests attacking the pack leader, but she says the wolves are tricky, and their leader won't be caught in the middle of the fight. Seeing the tough situation, our hero opens his teleportation door to find the pack leader himself. He tells his comrades to stay put. He appears on the other side of the portal and quickly spots the pack leader. He smashes the wolf's head with his bat, knocking it senseless. With their leader defeated, the other wolves see Linkyou as a terrifying, powerful demon and run away. The protagonist gets praised for his skills. He then rips the pack leader apart to find valuables. To their amazement, he finds a pearl that grants the stealth skill. He stares at the pearl, wondering how to best use it. He hands it over to Shenyu, believing he'll be the best fit since he's their scout. To return the favor, the guy promises to repay everyone, considering the pearl's value. Shenyu absorbs the skill pearl. The team is bewildered as the item vanishes in the blink of an eye. While the guy celebrates his new skill, our hero wishes he'd kept the pearl. He then accesses the system for his daily skill and gets an S-rank enhancement skill. He recalls getting the skill before, and instantly, his shirt rips from his muscles. He curses the robot for humiliating him and tells his teammates he'll be back after cleaning up. While changing, he finds out his physical strength is now comparable to a silver 6-star power awakener. Baffled, he heads back to his team's campfire. He starts laughing sheepishly, making the high school sweetheart uncomfortable. When she confronts him, he tells her not to worry. Suddenly, Chungmin informs Jen they're being followed. She says their pursuers are keeping a good distance. Jen warns her comrades about a group that specializes in hunting others inside dungeons dungeons. Since wounds and death are normal inside, the murderous group finds it easy to kill and loot. She adds that their pursuers will likely attack once they enter the forest. The protagonist assures her he'll protect her, but she brushes him off, telling him just to be prepared. The next day, our hero draws an E-rank taming ability. This puts him in a bad mood. He was hoping for an awesome skill. Suddenly, he hears Jenin screaming. He heads out to see two giant serpents causing panic. Overwhelming fear strikes him as he stares at the monstrous beast. Through his new taming skills, he sees the monster's dangerous traits. He rushes to his teammates, telling them to retreat. The monster spits venom, but they jump out of the way just in time. Yen tells DL they'll attack from afar to avoid the poison. The two of them unleash lightning and ice attacks, overwhelming the serpents and fatally wounding them. The beasts crash to the ground, totally wrecked. Our hero moves in to snag whatever goodies are inside, but then he spots something wiggling around in there. He tells his buddies to hang back while he checks it out. He slices open the sack, and this weird critter, a grassland marmot, pops out. The guys are baffled, but the girls think it's adorable. The marmot hops onto Lin's shoulder, freaking him out. Seeing the hero's useless, the creature jumps onto the high school sweetheart, cuddling her. Then the protagonist is ticked, but he keeps slicing up the serpent, finding 2 mana pearls. The marmot's eyeing the pearls, but our hero's not sharing. The creature tries to strike a deal, but no dice, so it just snatches the pearls. Lin's friend tries to console him, but he's stewing over lost profits. Meanwhile, Zhen hears weird noises from the forest, and Min Man spots a beam of light zooming towards them. They brace for a fight. Suddenly, the marmot bursts out of the ground with a pearl, and a whole bunch more marmots pop up. The creature calls its buddies over, and they pile up a mountain of mana pearls for the hero, a thank you for the 2 it swiped earlier. Chungmin counts the pearls, noting which ones have skills. Lin notices there are no rare or earth-type pearls, probably because the marmots absorbed them. The protagonist hands the fire-type pearls to Jiang Chen. The high school goddess says he can keep the rest, thanking him for easily taking down the giant snakes. He bashfully accepts the pearls and compliments, stuffing them into his pocket dimension. Zhen asks him to try absorbing a pearl. He gives it a shot, never having done it before. The pearl glows. He absorbs it, and bam! He's a bronze 3-star adventurer. His teammates cheer, while Jen wonders about the pearl's power, but she still congratulates him. He brags about training for a month. Then she is thanking the marmot and is going to send it off, but our hero wants the critter's help with something else. With a wicked grin, he ropes the poor thing into tagging along. Meanwhile, the Zhonglang group is still spying. The bandits are itching to attack as the team enters the forest, but their leader, Yang, tells them to chill. He figures they'll let the hero's team go deeper, so they're trapped. He'll give the signal when they're vulnerable. Night falls. Our hero's near a trench dug by the marmot. He gives the creature some spikes to stick in the trench, then pours cobra venom all over them. Trap set, he says goodbye to the marmots and his friends. Jenin tells him Chungmin wants a word. They head to the campfire. The bunny girl tells them the pursuers are close. She can hear them. She figures out the bandits, known as the feral wolves, notorious for killing newbies in bronze dungeons, plan a midnight ambush. The protagonist sees his teammates are scared, which worries him. He tells them to cut the chatter and calm down. This ain't an arena fight. One slip up, and they're done. He tells Shenyu to protect Chungmin and Jiang San, the group's weak links. Zhen is impressed by his leadership skills, unlike her who gets nervous quickly. After reminding the 2 weaklings to protect themselves, Lin flirts the high school sweetheart, acting like a savior. She laughs, but surprisingly says she'll be counting on him. Midnight. The bandit group creeps towards the tents. Yang tells his lackey it's hunting time. They split up to surround the tents. One guy thinks Yang's making a big deal out of it, then bam! He walks right into the hero's trap, falling into the trench and getting impaled. Before Yang knows it, most of his men are trapped. He orders a regroup, but a lackey reports 2 dead, 1 severely injured and not looking good. The leader curses. Lin and his group emerge. Yang admits he was fooled, but he's ready to finish them. Our hero raises his hand, snaps his fingers, trails of fire and lightning rain down from above. Jiang Chung and Shenyu appear, charging their spells. The bandit leader realizes they've been ambushed, tells his men to scatter, but some are caught in the blast. Zhen tells our hero she's ready. She casts an ice seal spell, freezing the bandit's legs to the ground. Trapped, the Ice and Fire Awakeners combo their spells to take them out. The dust settles. Yang's informed of another dead man. The remaining silver-rank bandits start radiating a powerful, deadly aura. The high school sweetheart gets nervous. Hearing the enemy's threats, our hero says he's just acting in self-defense. Jenin's freaking out as she watches the bandits' overwhelming power. She decides to keep their leader busy, telling Lin to handle the last one. But he sees how anxious she is and reminds her to chill. He's got her back. As she walks away, she wishes him luck. The protagonist then orders Jiang Jang-san to hide while the rest of the team protects the guy. His teammates are baffled, and even the enemy team can't believe a bronze rank nobody is trying to play hero. One of the bandits gets pissed by Lin Hu's words and attacks. The guy unleashes a massive tornado straight at our hero and his team, but the protagonist dodges it easily, seeing how slow it is. He gets in close and starts smacking the enemies around, stomping on their heads and mocking them for being such pushovers. He boasts that he's barely started, as Jang-san cheers him on. Lin credits his weapon for the easy win. Meanwhile, the high school sweetheart is getting wrecked by Xiang Lang's group leader. Our hero rushes over, seeing how bad things are. He appears behind Yangu, but the bandit leader spots him. Regardless, the hero swings down with all his might. When the dust settles, you sees his subordinates are dead. The leader accuses the protagonist of using some trick. Link decides to show him a real trick, scaring the guy half to death. The guy jumps back, activating his rage skill, ready to tear our hero apart. He charges and attacks with his claws, but the protagonist blocks with his weapon. Despite the earlier showboating, Linu's struggling under Yang's power. The leader knocks him off balance, sending him flying. As he slides back, he tries to think of a way to counter such a strong opponent. Iho yells at him not to get distracted. Linko dodges an attack aimed at his head, continuing to evade the bandit leader's flurry of blows. Yangu needs to end this fast before his ability runs out. He suddenly grows a tail, telling our hero to try dodging his tiger's whip. He strikes down, but the protagonist holds it off with his bat. It doesn't last though. Yu shatters the bat and smacks him away. Realizing he can't underestimate his opponent, our hero figures it's time for his trump card. He activates his teleportation door, declaring the fight over. The enemy is confused as our hero vanishes. He's even more shocked when the protagonist appears above him from another portal, but he still sees it as a chance to finish him. Fear grows in our hero's eyes as his enemy closes in, but then he signals his comrades. Yen and the two guys show up, ready to unleash their spells. Our hero vanishes again, leaving Yangu to a terrible fate. Just as the leader realizes what's happening, the magic spells hit, causing a massive explosion. Linu congratulates his team. Yang lies defeated. Jang-san checks the body, confirming the bandit leader is dead. Suddenly, Jen gets hit with a sharp pain, probably from the strain of battle. Link rushes to her, asking if she's okay. He looks at his other teammates, seeing how the battle affected them. He says their actions were self-defense. They would have been dead otherwise. His words comfort his teammates. He tells them to find a place to rest and clear their heads. With everyone feeling better, he leads them to a good spot away from the bodies. Jenin has a relaxed, happy expression. At the safe location, Linu tells his teammates to rest while he and Jungan keep watch. He gets his injuries healed by their support and thanks him. The guy says our hero is more amazing, but Linu tells him not to be so humble. He's their best support. Suddenly, Jenzin shows up, telling the guy to rest while she and the protagonist keep watch. With her alluring looks, she says she wants to talk to our hero. Jang-san quickly leaves. As Janine sits beside Linu, he gets nervous and shy, wondering what she wants. He looks at her, and their eyes lock. He gets embarrassed and asks her not to stare so much, but the high school sweetheart laughs, calling him shameless. She glances at him again, admitting he looks handsome. Our hero gets flustered. Jen wouldn't normally compliment him like that. Extending a hand, she says she's serious, recalling his brave deeds. She even says he acted cool, leaving Linu even more baffled. And in the heat of the moment, he grabs her hand and asks if she has a boyfriend. It's a bold move. His question confuses and flusters her. She snatches her hand back, asking why he's asking that. He says he was wondering if she wanted him, considering the compliments. Janine says she has high standards, preferring someone better than her in all aspects. She refuses to admit defeat, saying they'll find out who's best in the coming exams. Feeling confident, our hero asks what she'll do if he beats her. He asks her to be his girlfriend if he wins, but Jen tells him to keep dreaming. They're interrupted by others taking the night shift. The protagonist bids the sweetheart farewell, but she's too upset to respond. The next morning, Lai wakes up and draws his skill for the day. Luckily, he gets an S-rank mana enhancement skill. He advances 2 levels, becoming a bronze F-star. When he asks the system to make him silver rank, it gets pissed off at his ridiculous request. He heads out to meet his team. Jang San, shocked, notices our hero's mana has increased and asks if he's already advanced. While distracted, the healer cuts himself. His teammates rush to him, and Chung Min tends to his wounds. He then turns to Lin Shu, saying it's weird for him to advance twice in one night. The others are completely blown away. He tells them to stop teasing him. Min Man tells him to get ready for an incoming attack. They look ahead and see some folks hauling away from a huge horde of mana beasts barreling straight for them. Our hero, seeing these wild creatures, gets a serious case of the jitters. He spots the wild monkeys about to chomp down on some poor girl. He shields his teammates from the beasts for a sec, and then they all book it. As the monsters charge, one by one, the team starts to get winded, unable to keep up the pace. Seeing that running's a lost cause, Shenyu stops and decides they should throw down with the monkeys. The beasts close in fast, blast, leaving the team with no choice but to fight. As the protagonist cracks a stick to use as a weapon, Jenin tells him to off her if they lose. Chungmin also would rather die if things go south, but our hero assures the girls he's got their backs no matter what. He charges forward to stall the monsters so the girls can power up their strongest spells. As soon as he gets in the thick of it, the monkeys swarm him, but he smacks them around with his raw strength. Despite beating up a bunch, more monkeys keep coming. The situation gets hairy when Jian notices even more beasts charging their way. A monkey pops out of nowhere and goes for her, but a huge blast suddenly goes off. She sees the protagonist holding off the monkey that nearly got her. Lino smacks the crap out of the beast and kills it. Unbeknownst to him, another beast sneaks up from behind. While the hero's guard is down, the monkey slashes his shoulder, wounding him. Shenzhen then tells him to step aside because their spells are ready. He gives them space, and the girls unleash their spells on the monkeys. The impact causes a massive explosion that shakes the whole forest. The ravenous monsters are toast. But Minmin senses another wave of mana beasts coming. As the dust settles, they see another group of monkeys, led by a huge golden gorilla, probably the boss. With their resources and stamina totally drained, the team's in deep trouble. Chungmin starts bawling, saying she doesn't want to die like this. Jiang San, moved by her tears, decides to do whatever it takes to save her. He whips out his phone and starts typing furiously. He then yells for someone named Zhao Chao to reveal himself, hitting send. Out of nowhere, a dude suddenly appears on the battlefield and calls the healer Master. Xiao faces our hero's team, cigarette in hand. As they're wondering who this guy is, it's revealed he's a gold rank awakener with an ape animorph ability. His master calls him out for stealing the cigarette and orders him to take out the monsters, pronto. The guy takes off his jacket and activates his ability, unleashing a crazy deadly aura. When Jung San's teammates ask about the guy, he tells them Jai's his family's manager. With his ape ability, Jai charges forward to beat the crap out of the monsters threatening his master. As Hosa closes in, the ape leader tells the others to stand back while he handles the awakener. The beast charges straight at the awakener and attacks, but the guy easily grabs the ape's arm. He then slams it all over the place, leaving the weaker apes terrified. After that, Jiaoxi tosses their leader into the middle of the group, where he lies on the floor, totally wrecked. As if they haven't suffered enough, the guy's menacing shadow looms over them. He lets out a terrifying roar, causing the weak apes to scatter. As the monsters flee, our hero admits gold rank awakeners are pretty damn scary. His job done, Jiaoxi informs his master he's out of there. The guy takes off into the sky as they say their goodbyes. Minman then asks their healer if Ji's always been this close, and he confirms it. He also says Lin's family wanted to send an escort, but they settled on just Ji. He apologizes for not telling Lin sooner. Lin admits that if they'd known someone was watching their backs, they wouldn't have gone all out with their training. Thanks to the training from the past few days, he suddenly levels up. Not only him, but Minman levels up too. Seeing this, our hero wonders if he can level up as well. He pulls out an orb and starts meditating hard on his mana. He starts feeling something warm flowing through him. Linko just ends up embarrassing himself, while his teammates stare in disbelief. He gets bummed out after failing to level up like the others. The system even calls him out for wanting to advance again, but he feels like the weak link. While searching the ape leader's body, he finds a mana pearl. It's a silver mana pearl, and it has a rare sound skill that can stun enemies. He calls Jung San over and offers him the pearl. Surprising him, the protagonist tells him to give the pearl to Chung Min, since he's seen how much he likes her. The big guy starts daydreaming about Chung Min and how she'd make the perfect wife. What a dork. Anyway, he offers to send our hero a boatload of cash once they leave the dungeon. Overjoyed, Jang San stares at the pearl, thinking about how to approach his crush. Suddenly, Chungmin approaches him and asks why he's grinning like an idiot. Just as he's about to chicken out, Linu shoves him forward. Jiangin ends up kneeling with the pearl in his hand, looking like he's proposing. Chungmin sees the sound pearl and is overcome with emotion. Jang-san tells her the pearl is for her. She pulls him into a big, warm hug. After that, Jen reminds everyone they need to pack up and get moving. Moments later, the team reaches the border between the forest and the snowfield. The high school sweetheart suggests they rest there for the night before heading into the snowy mountains. As they're setting up their tents, the protagonist notices Jen is freezing. He takes off his jacket and offers it to her, smooth operator that he is. She happily accepts, a cheerful smile on her face. Unbeknownst to them, a deadly snow bear is lurking around, looking for its next meal. The next day, our hero steps out of his tent as Jang-san tells them breakfast is ready. As Link nibbles on some bread, he draws his skill for the day. Sadly, it's an E-rank skill, and he curses the robot for being so useless. His day off to a bad start, he tells the healer to pass him some honey to cheer him up. Suddenly, the snow bear shows up and snatches the honey jar from Jangin. The two guys are scared when the monster roars. Chungmin quickly shows up and activates her new ability to stun the beast. Her other comrades also arrive, and together they beat the crap out of the terrifying bear. Moments later, the bear's lying on the ground, totally out cold. Jin compliments Chungmin on her awesome stun ability as she informs them they're about to reach their destination. Our hero preps to harvest the goods from the monster. Jen lets him know they gotta get moving, and he assures her he's almost done. Lino then stuffs the bear into his pocket dimension, making the high school sweetheart think he's lost it. He explains it's not heavy at all. 3 hours later, the team's near the fox den. Using echolocation, Chungmin senses a bunch of monsters nearby and tells everyone to stay sharp. Something suddenly moves, and they turn to find a cute baby fox. The girls are instantly smitten with the fluffy creature. The protagonist sees the fox is easy to tame, but if its kin are harmed, it'll chase its target relentlessly. Knowing Jinin wants the creature's skill Pearl, he's worried about her fondness for it. He points out that dealing with it won't be too hard, but she's clearly not thrilled about hurting the cute fox. Regardless, our hero asks if she needs help. Jen looks at the innocent fox in her arms and decides to let it go. She feels she'd be no better than the previous assailant if she killed it. Just meeting such a gentle mana beast is enough. Her comrades are happy with her decision. As she signals everyone to leave, the protagonist stops them. 2 large foxes approach, letting out a ferocious roar. The protagonist assumes they're angry, thinking the humans took their child, but the little fox goes to its parents and calms them down, explaining everything. The giant fox then gives the team a gentle smile. Lino and his comrades are relieved things didn't escalate, thanks to his animal-related E-rank skills. The protagonist approaches the foxes, seeing if he can score a skill pearl. He offers to trade something for any mana pearls they have. He learns the foxes do have a mana pearl and will give it to him if he helps defeat their natural enemy. How is this guy even talking to them? He vows to take down any creature that would harm such cute foxes, and they tell him it's the Snow Peak bear. The team's shocked it's the same bear they already defeated. The protagonist opens his pocket dimension and tosses out the dead bear, baffling the foxes. In return, they give him 2 mana pearls. Lino offers one to the love of his life, who needs a skill. Everyone's eager for her to absorb it and show off her new power. Even the protagonist can't wait. Jen absorbs the pearl, conjures an ice bow, and tells everyone to watch. She fires a powerful ice arrow, and the shockwave nearly knocks the hero off his feet. The arrow destroys everything in its path. Seeing this, Lino despairs of ever surpassing the high school sweetheart. After Lino congratulates Jen, Chungmin suggests a team photo. Jang-san asks the foxes to be a phone stand, sets the timer, and hands the phone over. Chungmin calls him over, and they all gather for a pic. 3 days later, our hero's happily looking at the photo when he gets notifications about money from his teammates. Thanks to the expedition, he's a millionaire. All that's left is to ace the upcoming exams, and he'll be a suitable partner for Jen. Or so he thinks. And the system butts in, telling him to stop daydreaming because Jen will never consider a loser like him. He brags about studying and advancing to a bronze 8-star awakener, but he's a total liar. He then draws his skill for the day and gets an A-rank zoom skill. He thinks it'll be useless for exams, but great for his stupid plans. A month later, results day arrives. Our hero's at a cyber cafe with some teammates, checking the results. Chungmin's sure she's in the top 10, and Jung-san agrees. Jen takes the mouse as the announcement time arrives. Rage fills her when she sees the results. She asks Lino how he scored so high. The protagonist looks closer and sees he got full marks on every subject. Jung-san can't believe how inhuman Lino is, and the hero starts feeling pretty proud. He checks Jen's result, but she tells him to forget it and admits he beat her. The others can't believe how easily she conceded. The hero then shows off his riches and asks when he can ask her parents for her hand in marriage. Jen calls him a shameless idiot. He pisses her off and gets his heart crushed, but Jang-san tries to cheer him up. Later, Jangin says they'll meet in 2 weeks to travel to M City. The day before departure, our hero finishes packing. He wonders if he'll ever return to the room he's lived in for 2 years. The system's shocked by his sentimentality, but he just tells the robot to give him his skill. After the draw, he gets a mana enhancement skill. Again, as Lino recalls he can increase his mana, the system starts applying the ability. He tells it to stop, feeling he'll soon advance, so he doesn't need it now. He meditates, adding a silver mana pearl, and successfully advances to bronze 9-star rank. With that, he tells the system to go ahead with the enhancement. After using the skill, he easily advances to silver 1-star rank, gaining a skill that lets him pull or control items from afar. He tries it on his backpack, but he runs out of mana, and the bag barely budges. The robot laughs, saying he's lucky it moved at all. It'll take a lot of training to master it, but our hero keeps trying. The next day, his landlord's daughter finds his room door open but him gone. She reads the letter he left explaining his departure to Magic City. She opens the envelope and finds a ton of money. Likshu's wondering how the protagonist got his hands on so much cash and hopes he didn't do anything illegal. Meanwhile, our hero is already on a train with his buddies, and Jen's fretting about him catching a cold. He gets a call, picks up, and it's Likshu, screaming screaming like a banshee, asking if he screwed up. He assures her it's all good, he earned the money fair and square. She then tells him to hit the books and build a solid foundation. Lixu also demands he introduce her to his girlfriend if he ever snags one. When the train pulls into Magic City, our hero tells Lixu he's gotta run. On their way out, Jungsun comments on how much the hero's family must care. The scene shifts to the bustling town of Magic City, packed with people going about their day. An old guy strolling around is revealed to be Lu Jen, Magic City's vice principal. He spots the hero with his friends and calls them over. He tells Lio he knew they'd end up at his university and praises their skills. The old man senses something's up and notices the protagonist is now a silver rank awakener. He tells the hero to swing by his office after registration. Our hero, though, feels a bit uneasy about being summoned to the principal's office on day 1. Later, a staff member shows Liu and Jangan to their room. Once inside, Jangan compliments the protagonist on hitting silver rank so fast. He's hoping some of that luck rubs off on him, so he can level up quickly too. Before heading to the principal's office, Linu checks the system for his daily skill. He gets the physical enhancement skill again, and immediately applies it. The system then shows his current strength is like a gold 2-star power awakener. The robot also informs him that future physical enhancements will come with an S-rank upgrade. Jinan reminds him to head to the principal's office, and our hero quickly steps out. Leno arrives at the office and is told to have a seat by the vice principal. Len wants to grill him a bit and starts by explaining the rank classifications. He lists them from the lowest, bronze, to the highest, exalt rank, and then asks about the hero being an animorph. After confirming that Link is a rabbit animorph, the old man wonders if Lady Luck paid the protagonist a visit. Our hero tries to play it cool, but he's sweating bullets that the old man might know about his daily skill system. The old man keeps questioning how he reached silver rank so quickly. As Liu laughs it off, he scrambles to come up with something to tell the vice principal. He says he used monop pearls, but Luan isn't buying it. When asked about his skills, the hero says he has 7. Making the old man even more suspicious. Given his influence, Luan thinks the protagonist might not actually be a rabbit. However, our hero explains that he gains spatial abilities after evolving. Hearing this, Luan is completely flabbergasted. He didn't think animorphs could evolve into other ability types. Linko then pulls his luggage out of his pocket dimension, proving his skills are legit. After checking out the luggage, the old man tells him he's definitely come to the right university. He says it's because the principal, Yu Yang Zi, is the only known true Valiance Awakener in the country. The protagonist gets super hyped hearing the principal is also a spatial awakener, but he's not at the school at the moment. Luan then asks if anyone else knows about our hero's evolution. Link says it's just his friends. The old man then tells him to make sure his buddies keep it under wraps. Suddenly, the vice principal tells Link to punch him with all his might. After seeing his physique, the old man wants to test his strength. Our hero charges up all the strength he can and lands a monster punch on the man. As the dust settles, he asks the old man if he's okay. Meanwhile, Luan is sweating nervously, feet planted firmly. After confirming his physique is at gold rank, the vice principal threatens to dock Link's scholarship for the repair costs. Moments later, he decides to give our hero a spot in a competition next month, since he has a gold rank physique. Despite the old man explaining how prestigious the exam is, Linhu refuses. He tries to sweet-talk the protagonist by mentioning the competition's cash prize. Hearing the amount, our hero shamelessly agrees to do his best. As the hero walks back to his room, Jang San greets him and mentions their roommates have arrived. Linko struggles to hold back his laughter when he sees the guy with green hair. The guy's name is Jang Hongyang, and he's a bronze 9-star awakener. After teasing the guy, our hero turns to the other person in the room and assumes he's the green-haired kid's dad. The older guy walks up with an intimidating vibe, and Jang San explains he's also a roommate. The protagonist still can't get over how much older this guy looks. After goofing around, Hongyang suggests they figure out who's the oldest. They all whip out their ids, and to the others' dismay, Linu turns out to be the oldest. Hongyang is furious and decides everyone should call him number 2. Someone walks by and tells them the counselor wants them to gather in a classroom. They all head out and arrive. As they approach the seats, the other students are shocked to see something. The old roommate quickly clarifies he's also a student, but everyone's already got the wrong idea. A lady walks up behind the protagonist and tells them to sit. Her name is Han Junning, and she's an 8-star Platinum Awakener. She introduces herself as the class counselor and tells them to come to her for any help. Then, she explains the gathering is to choose a class representative and for introductions. She gives an example, introducing herself as a 9-tailed fox animorph and sharing her likes. She then tells them to start, picking Jangan first. He introduces himself normally and says he likes Chung men. After Junning laughs off his directness, our hero introduces himself. The counselor then tells the class to check out the rabbit animorph who aced the exams. Some students start whispering, wondering if he got in just on his scores. The protagonist ignores the negativity. Once introductions are done, they move on to selecting a class representative. Junning explains how they're all special and says she's picked 4 silver rank students as candidates: Jenzin, Linu, Wang Qin, and Simon. She calls them up, giving each 2 minutes to speak and win votes. Samayan, an eagle animorph, goes first, introducing himself with the usual formalities. So, this class rep election, he's been class rep since grade school, blah blah blah, asking for votes. Some folks ain't buying it. Our guy's up next, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. He straight up tells everyone he doesn't want the job, pushes them to vote for Jenin instead. The counselor's thinking he's a troublemaker, but then Jenin, the school's resident school sweetheart, gets the mic. Just a quick vote for me, and that's it. Her fan club goes wild, naturally. Last up is Wang Qin. She sees Jenin's popularity, but doesn't even flinch, struts to center stage, and all the guys are practically drooling. Charming intro, asks for their votes, and the crowd loses it. Our hero notices Jenin and Wang Qin are polar opposites. Counselor counts the votes, looking pretty surprised, teases them a bit, then announces Jenin as the winner. Wang Qin's second, the vice rep, and she looks like she's plotting the demise of anyone who didn't vote for her. Votes done, Jenin moves on to military training. It's super strict, get expelled if you miss it. Instructors are from the Vermilion Bird Squad. Real deal, battle-hardened soldiers. Our protagonist pipes up, asking if the Vermilion Bird Squad is a big deal. Seiyan's shocked. Tin explains they're the only aerial squad in the country. She's also figuring out how to get closer to our hero, now that she's noticed his good looks. Starts rambling about other squads, trying to cozy up. But he's zoned out, thinking about how he can probably get a mount, what with his Monab Beast skills. Training day arrives. Students are on the grounds. Chungmin's bragging to Jang-san about losing weight. Our protagonist jealous, wishing he had that kind of problem with his crush. Suddenly, feathers are falling from the sky. Huge eagle lands, an awakener on top, telling it to descend. Guy hops off, signals the start of training. This guy's Lin Chong, chief instructor. He calls them all spoiled brats, clueless about the real world. Says the instructors behind him will whip them into shape, soldier style. One instructor, Chin Ming, introduces himself to our protagonist. Our hero makes fun of both their names. Chin Ming, seeing their energy, decides to teach them a lesson. First task, 10 laps around the field, no mana allowed. Smiles vanish. They can't believe how brutal this is. They start running, instructor watching. Some drop out after 5 laps. He's taking notes, but our protagonist catches his eye. Chin Ming can't figure out how Linu, a supposedly useless animorph, is staying ahead. Even Janine and Wang Qin are struggling. Our hero's worried about his crush falling behind. He slows down to help, but Wang Qin refuses. Wang Qin, though, sees her chance to get close to our protagonist. He's not interested, and Wang Qin looks ready to kill her. Linu keeps running, tells Jenin to let him know if she needs help. By the 9th lap, Semayan's about to collapse, but his pride won't let him lose to our hero. Yan's pushing himself, but our hero's playing it cool, not showing off. Linu notices his fitness level is way above everyone else's. Yan's insulted that the protagonist isn't even breaking a sweat. They're nearing the finish line. Yan's desperate to win, bursts forward and trips over a rock. Our hero takes first place. Yan's on the ground, wondering why he even bothered. Instructor congratulates Linu, says the 10 laps seemed easy. Our protagonist panics, starts faking aches and pains, badly. Chin Ming's suspicious, decides to keep an eye on him. Our boy blames Yan, calls him a pathetic loser. Yan blames the trip, still hasn't realized our hero was holding back. Hero calls him a trash loser. Yan retorts that rabbits are eagle food. Our hero says he knows nothing. The rest finish their laps. Instructor gathers everyone, gives a rough evaluation. Next up, 5 sets of 100 push-ups. Students think their instructor's a demon. Chin Ming says start counting. Don't skip any, or you get an extra set. Samayan thinks he'll win this. Push-ups are his thing. Then he sees our hero doing push-ups at warp speed. Linu's decided to stop hiding his strength. Instructor's impressed, keeps a closer eye. Students are dead tired when they finish, complaining about the instructor being a demon. Chin Ming gives them 2 hours to rest. Seeing their misery, he offers a chance. He'll lower his power to their level. Anyone who beats him skips training for a month. Samayan asks if he's sure. Instructor confirms. Yan takes the challenge. Protagonist asks if weapons are allowed. Instructor says yes. Protagonist mentions a killer weapon. Instructor reminds him guns aren't allowed. Our boy might be crazy enough to try. He says he'll use a spear. They leave, planning to have the challenge in the observation room. The vice principal tells Lin Chong, our hero is a student currently, after he fought the old man. The chief instructor's curiosity about Linu grows. He assures the worried old man that he'll complete the mission. When Luan mentions getting his scar healed, the chief instructor vows not to until he's gotten payback. The scar serves as a painful reminder. On his way out, Lai Chong tells the vice principal he's found some clues, and revenge is coming soon. Later, during the afternoon session, our hero is looking for something when Jungsun asks what he's up to. Linu explains he needs a decent weapon, since he broke the last one. Suddenly, Xiao pops up with a spear and offers it to him. Linu, impressed, thanks Jungsun, who's happy he likes it. They head back to the training grounds, where the instructor's about to face his first challenger. Semian, an eagle animorph, steps up, wishing his opponent a good fight. Ming, remembering past sparring matches with these types, asks him to transform. Yan activates his ability, his hands morphing into impressive wings. He takes flight and dives down with a powerful slash. Our protagonist is awestruck by the flying attack. The instructor hardens his body with metal, blocking the attack. Frustrated, Yan tries again, but gets blocked again. Our hero observes that the instructor's confidence stems from his rare metallic defense. The dust settles, revealing the instructor completely unharmed. Ming notices Yan is low on mana and asks if he'll concede. Semayan sadly admits defeat. The instructor calls for the next challenger. Chen steps up. Ming takes his stance and signals to start. Chen launches a fireball, but the instructor finds it surprisingly slow and weak. He rushes forward, walking right into Chen's trap. She unleashes a barrage of fireballs. The instructor, caught off guard, manages to defend, but Chen charges another spell, a massive fire tornado, almost turning him into a crispy critter. The instructor throws up a defensive barrier, but he's struggling. Chen keeps the pressure on. She has to admit defeat after running out of mana. Ming acknowledges her impressive power. Next, Jenin approaches. She asks if he needs a rest, but he claims to have enough mana on his signal. Jenin conjures an ice arrow and fires. He blocks, but more ice projectiles follow. He's overwhelmed and turns his entire body into metal. Every time he gets close, she fires another frost arrow, making things tough. Our hero is busy admiring his crush. Jenin eventually admits defeat, out of mana, leaving the instructor barely standing. The instructor asks for more challengers. Our protagonist raises his hand. Linko asks the instructor if he needs a rest, considering the last fight, but the instructor says he recovers quickly. The chief instructor shows up and tells Ming to rest and give it his all. Ming asks if he's sure, and the chief instructor confirms it. The other students seem worried, knowing their instructor has been holding back. While the instructor rests, the chief instructor approaches our hero. Lin Chong confirms that the vice principal told him everything. He's surprised when our boy mentions his spatial abilities. Lin Chong tries to downplay it, but the chief instructor thinks those skills might be useful. Li Chong then tells the hero to beat up the instructor. Good. He announces that the loser will do 500 push-ups, which doesn't faze Ming. Our hero's plans for a low profile are shot. He has to go all out. The instructor powers up, telling the protagonist to morph. The hero says he doesn't need to, confusing the instructor. The instructor feels disrespected. An orph not morphing? He starts the battle by throwing his spear. Our hero, unfazed, sees the instructor has no real skill with it. He easily defends, but he needs an opening. As they clash, he breaks the instructor's spear, sending him flying. The instructor crashes, defeated. The students are stunned. Liang realizes the principal was right. Jenin notices his incredible strength, but cheers him on, glad to have him as a friend. The other students join in, but our hero feels a bit disgusted by it all. The instructor gets back up. Ming conjures daggers, saying these are his preferred weapons. The protagonist mocks his spear skills, making him look foolish. Lai Chong notes that the instructor is getting serious, highlighting the different strengths of spears and daggers. He wonders how the fight will go with opposing weapon styles. Our hero, taking note of the perks of being a Gold Awakener, gets distracted. The instructor charges. The protagonist sees it and splits his spear, blocking the attack. With the instructor caught off guard, the hero prepares to strike. Ming quickly defends, trying to avoid humiliation, but the protagonist's attack sends him flying. The audience is baffled. The instructor sticks the landing, realizing our hero's strength is on par with his own. Meanwhile, our heroes beat, finding the fight a drag and itching to wrap things up. It's like they read each other's minds, and the hero suggests calling it a draw. They shake on it, and the protagonist thanks the instructor for holding back. But Ming still gives our hero the win, letting him skip training. Linu, hearing this, is stoked and plans a break. His classmates, though, can't deny his skills. Ming, ruining their vibe, tells the other students to keep training, dragging Jangin off. Our hero wishes his roommate luck. Lin Chong then approaches the protagonist, who wonders what the chief instructor wants. The dude asks him to go for a walk, when he confirms it's just them, but the guy says he planned to take the protagonist on a flight. When our hero mentions the guy's eagle, Lin Chong's floored that he knows about mana beasts. Linu spills that he learned about them from some chick named Majorin. Lin Chong's eagle lands nearby, and they prep for a ride. Looking at the majestic eagle, Lin Chong asks the protagonist his thoughts. Linu tells the guy to correct him if he's wrong, then starts explaining how the beasts grew up in the army and how they hatched, shocking the chief instructor. He drops the bomb that the storm eagles are wasted on them. Lin Chong, insulted, wonders why he'd say that. The hero says there's a problem with how the eagles are bred, that the bred ones are weaker than those from dungeons and have shorter lifespans. The chief instructor, blown away by the hero's observation skills, asks asks how he knows all this. Linu credits Mei Jiaran, but really, it's thanks to his feeding skill. When he confirms he can fix these breeding issues, Lin Chong decides to take him along. The protagonist worries about his classes, but the chief instructor assures him the vice principal will be notified. Lin Chong calls the old man, asking permission to take our hero for a few days. The chief instructor then tells our boy he can't refuse, or he'll be marked absent and expelled. No choice. He gets on the eagle with the guy. His sad face lights up when they take flight. Then he starts screaming for help, but nobody hears the poor guy. Moments later, they're above the Vermilion Bird Squad's secret base. Getting off the eagle, the protagonist is awestruck by the base. The chief of staff, Jen Yu Young, approaches, asking why the chief instructor is back so soon. Lin Chong shows him our hero, calling him a precious treasure. The protagonist is utterly confused. The chief instructor tells Yu Young he'll understand once they meet their team leader, but the guy declines. He heads to the logistics base with the protagonist. After a long bridge, they stop at a huge rock wall. Our hero wonders if the team leader is some monkey who'll jump out, but Lin Chong uses a terminal to reveal a secret door. Our hero's amazed by the tech. Lin Chong says there are more surprises inside. Entering, the protagonist sees a high-tech lab filled with scientists tending to flying beasts. The place is massive, like a whole mountain. The chief instructor asks if he's impressed. Linu then spots a griffin and says the food it's being fed might kill it. The instructor drags him away. They reach a door. The guy says there's a psycho researcher inside. Instead of knocking, Lin Chong kicks the door down like a maniac. Linu asks if there wasn't a better way in. As the dust settles, they see a blonde girl, team leader Shen Xing. Lin Chong says she's a gold-ranked demon awakener. Shen Xing turns, noticing them. Our hero wonders what a demon awakener is. The instructor says they're rare, like his spatial abilities. The hero realizes the instructor knew about his ability. Lin Chong tells him to hide while he wakes Shen Xing. He says she usually goes into demon form when disturbed, and it's tough to beat her. He taps her shoulder. She grabs pistols and starts shooting wildly. The guy dodges, but Shen Xing's lost it. Our hero watches, noticing when she runs out of bullets. A demonic aura surrounds her. Scary voices emerge. Her nails become fangs, and she grows horns and a tail. She charges at Lin Chong. He puts up a wall, but it's not enough. The demonic girl shatters it. The chief instructor reinforces himself, but she's still pushing him back. He tells our hero to get help. The protagonist runs off. He finds a computer showing parameters for hatching beasts called flame soars, but sees these parameters will make the beasts weak. The chief instructor yells at him again to get help. The protagonist tells him there's a problem with the parameters, catching the team leader's attention. She's even more interested when he says he knows how to hatch them properly. Her demonic form fades. She asks if he's sure. Lin Chong's shocked. She says she hasn't figured out how to hatch the eggs. The chief instructor regrets wasting time fighting her. He tells Shen Xing our hero's an expert on mana beasts. She sees him as a kid and underestimates him. Our hero, pissed off, puts a notepad on the table and explains why the parameters are wrong, why the beasts need high temperatures, and mana pearls, and even calls Shen Xing out for trying to suffocate the creatures. She's new to the whole mana pearl and egg thing, so our hero explains how dungeons are basically mana hotspots, way more than the outside world. This clicks for her, and she's finally seeing how awesome our boy is, but the team leader drags him away to help her hatch some eggs. Lio then tells her there's something more important than baby eggs, and he hauls her off somewhere else. He calls out to the lab scientists, and after introducing himself, he announces he's got some advice. He starts by telling them their work's riddled with mistakes. They're insulted, naturally, claiming to be the experts. The chief instructor tells them to chill out. They're making fools of themselves. Realizing talk is cheap, our hero decides to show, not tell. He tells the researchers to bring in a storm eagle for an experiment. They're still hesitant though. Seeing their reluctance, Liu Chong decides to bring in his own storm eagle. He assures the worried researchers he trusts the protagonist. Lin Chong's storm eagle is brought in. The protagonist notices the eagle's weird nickname, but the chief instructor doesn't see a problem. While the scientist is still trying to talk Liu Chong out of it, our hero says to get a healer and some other tools ready. The instructor says the scientist is the healer, and the other tools are good to go. Our hero gets to work, but the researcher's still dragging his feet. Thanks to his taming skills, the protagonist pets the storm eagle, calming it down. The chief instructor's jaw drops. His prized beast is actually listening to someone else. The protagonist gets the beast to lie down, then climbs on top with the researcher. He asks for the anesthetic, gets it, and preps the injection. Liu Chong's freaking out because the protagonist's just a student. His worry spikes when Lin Q asks for hot water to be poured around the eagle's stomach. Luckily, our hero's just plucking feathers. Next, He asks for a scalpel. The scientist waits for Liu Chang's okay, but the guy's still anxious. The protagonist assures him he won't screw up. Finally, the instructor tells them to hand over the blades. The protagonist grabs the blade and starts the operation. He cuts the beast open and is totally shocked. There's a huge layer of fat just sitting there. He yanks it all out with the researcher's help. Then he tells the guy to use his healing skills on the beast. Stat. The hero jumps off and tells the chief instructor that storm eagles don't need that much fat. He says the beast will conceive better and grow stronger with less fat. Since they're currently being fed a ton of fatty meat, he advises switching to beef and lamb. Lin Chong waits to see if his storm eagle's okay. If not, he's ready to make our hero pay. Moments later, the storm eagle's eyes snap open, pissed about its missing feathers, but it's radiating a powerful aura. It's had a breakthrough. Everyone, especially Lin Chong, is stunned to see the eagle hit platinum rank. The protagonist tells the chief instructor his eagle wants to take him for a spin. The instructor praises the hero's work, and the researcher apologizes for doubting him. Our hero then points out some other problems, assuring them the Vermilion Bird Squad will get stronger once they're fixed. As he's talking with the researcher, Shen Xing keeps her eyes glued to him. Later, the chief instructor shows our hero to the guest room. Lino hits the hay, exhausted. As he's drifting off, he feels a hand. He turns to see the team leader right there. Freaked out, he asks what she's doing. She pulls out a book and tells him to check it out. Shannon tells the protagonist that the flame soar hatched, leaving him bewildered. She says she used a gold rank mana pearl. The hero turns away, but she says she has something else to discuss. In a super charming voice, she asks him to tutor her on mana beasts. He tries to say he's just a student, but she doesn't care. He gives in, and she offers to bow, but he kicks her out and offers to start teaching her tomorrow. The next morning, our hero stumbles out with serious eye bags. Shen Xing pops up out of nowhere and greets him. She immediately asks for her lesson. He suggests she ask questions, since he's clueless about teaching. The team leader says the frostwing eggs didn't hatch and asks what she did wrong. He tells her to lower the temperature in the incubation chamber. She asks why, but our hero's already tired of the endless questions. As they enter the lab, the other researchers are thrilled to see him. They swarm him with questions and urgent requests. Linko gets fed up and tells them to line up. Later, he finally crashes on his bed. His rest is cut short when the alarms go off, and everyone's told to gather outside. Worried, he wonders what's up. He meets Shen Xing outside and asks what's going on. She says their captain, who just returned, rang the alarm for an announcement. There he sees the captain, Chia, a diamond 8-star animorph. The captain says Lin ran into a criminal organization. After tailing them, the chief instructor found their hideout. Chao tells his comrades that 10 members will be selected to assist Lin Chong. A lot of people volunteer, but the captain mentions Lin Q was requested. Our hero steps forward. Shen Xing tells the captain that the protagonist is an expert the chief instructor brought in. She starts singing his praises, listing all his accomplishments. Chao commends him but isn't comfortable sending him on such a dangerous mission. However, the hero volunteers and vows to take responsibility. The captain's still hesitant, but the team leader offers to protect him. Chia warns the hero about the risks, but our boy's determined. The captain hands him some papers with information and tells him to read up before they leave. He turns to address the rest of the squad, while our hero's buzzing with excitement. Moments later, Linu takes off on a storm eagle with team leader Shen. From what he's read, their target is the Tiger Mercenary Group, known for all kinds of heinous crimes. However, Shen Xing points out that there might be casualties if they attack, since the group is holed up in a populated area. She also mentions the group has an explosives expert and wishes they had a spatial awakener, so the plot armor thickens for our boy Lin Ku. He now understands why the chief instructor requested him. The team leader's phone beeps, and she says they're almost at Lin Chong's location. By evening, they arrive at Border Town Woods, where the chief instructor is waiting. Li Chong tells them he unexpectedly ran into their target, Wook, on his way back with his eagle. The protagonist then asks why he took so long to contact them. The chief instructor explains that the criminal is super cautious, and he never got a moment to rest while tailing the guy. However, the criminal didn't notice him and finally returned to the hideout. Li Chong points out the hotel being used as a hideout. He tells the hero not to stare too much, because the enemies could be watching. The team decides to rest and take turns keeping watch while they prepare for the upcoming battle. And the next morning, Shen says she hasn't noticed anything major, aside from Wook going to get breakfast. Seeing how exhausted the chief instructor is, the hero worries and wonders how long his recovery will take. He suggests to Shen that they get closer to try and monitor the criminal group. She's worried about not having a change of clothes, but our hero pops some out of his spatial dimension. Naturally, this freaks out Shen Xing, and she wonders how the hell he pulled that off. She runs off with the clothes to get changed. Later, as they walk through the streets, all the guys can't help but stare at her. Our hero tells her not to hold him so tightly, but she's taking the role quite seriously. When they get to their destination, Shen Sing tells him that she wants something. Meanwhile, our hero uses his zoom skill to get a closer look at the hideout. There, he sees a goon holding a sniper rifle from the window. When he notices the guy looking at him, he moves to protect team leader Shen. He tells her to act calmly, because the criminals are closely observing the area. Shen Sing continues to play her part, and the hero suggests they get a higher vantage point. They head into a hotel and ask for a room on the 3rd floor, but the whole floor is booked. The lady tells them the 4th floor is booked too, and asks Shen Xing for her ID. The hero begs the receptionist to make an exception, but she can't because of their policies. However, Link slams some money on the table, and the lady quickly accepts so much for policies. The receptionist gives them the key card, and they head off. When they get into the room, they start setting up their equipment to eavesdrop on the enemy. At first, they don't hear anything, but when they listen closely, they hear some people discussing. However, Shen Xing can't figure out the language. Fortunately, our hero has a language proficiency skill. Later on, Shen asks the protagonist what they were talking about. He tells her that the guys were speaking Fanny, and he caught 3 key points. First, the goons were hired to come there. Second, they're here to receive an item and take it out of the country. Lastly, the criminal group has prepared explosive countermeasures, which means the hero's team needs to capture them quickly. The team leader decides to report the matter, while our hero notices that the group is on a phone call. One of the goons confirms that the item has been gotten and assures the caller that they'll get it out. After that, he tells his subordinates that the item will arrive the next day. The protagonist quickly relays the information to the team leader. Suddenly, Shannon gets a call from Captain Chiaguai. He tells them that they've been swindled and have lost the item they were protecting.
Hi, this is Zoro Manhwa channel. For more updates videos, please like, comments, and subscribe to Zoro Manhwa channel.